All right, welcome. Happy Monday morning, March 24th. We are through the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Welcome to the Off the Rails podcast. I'm your host today, JT. We will be joined by Brother Scott and Brother Brian. We'll be talking about different sports. Scott and I are going to recap March Madness. And we're going to talk about motorsports. There's a lot going on this weekend. And Brian and I are going to finish up our preview of the American League, the AL Central and the AL West. And, I noticed we did the AL East the other day and we didn't pick a division winner. I'm going to have to try and get Brian to come down on that. We're both Red Sox fans, so I have a pretty good idea who we're going to go with. But okay, we're off and running. Let's talk about the NCAA tournament. I'm going to be dropping a short today that is going to revolutionize the NCAA tournament. It's going to knock you on your ears, and it is something you have never heard from anybody else, and it is something that is absolutely going to happen. If the NCAA does something smart, which probably is never going to happen. But, it is what it is. There's a reason they keep them, because they can keep making the stupid decisions and that these universities are shielded from the liability. Because believe me, when the SEC starts making these decisions, why do you think they're keeping the NCAA around? Really? They give them sanctions, they do things like that, and they never follow it. They don't really care, right? Well, why do they keep them around? It's to shield them from liability. And I'm going to tell you something. Everybody out there, they say, well, the SEC and the Big Ten are going to form their own college. Yeah. You know what? Every day you're violating antitrust. Every decision. The Ed O'Bannon thing was just the beginning. Okay? There's only one way to get around it. And I don't understand why the SEC hasn't, or the Big Ten. You have to unionize the employees. Because what happens is, it's antitrust when you have separate entities working together to limit the ability for people to earn, in a nutshell. That's basically what it is. So when you have, let's just say you got 16 teams in the SEC, and they all say we can only spend $100,000 a year, or 10 million, let's just say 10 million a year on NIL, that's antitrust. That's straight up antitrust. That's why they're not doing it. And then you have a state like Tennessee that basically says, we're going to do whatever we want. Their AG goes there. All right, it's an arms race. I get it. All right, whatever. I mean, I don't know what the end result is. I love college football. I think it's a better product than pro football. Mostly because pro football, there's so much nepotism in there, there's no new ideas breaking through. I mean, really, where was the last groundbreaking coach we saw? There's two Harbaughs coaching in the NFL. Out of 32 teams, 2 of them come from the same dad and mom. Oh my God. Everybody's related to somebody. Everybody is. Oh, I'm this guy's uncle. I'm this guy's brother-in-law. That's just, I'm this guy's kid. Belichick. He's got 3 of his kids working in different positions on football teams. Okay, I get it. Hey, this just in. It's hard to go out there and find a job that pays $500,000. Well, welcome to football. That's what the video consulting gets. But, I don't even know how I'm starting out talking about football. All right, let's talk about the NCAA tournament. We're going to get into, like I said, more of this with Scott, Brother Scott. And Florida beat UCONN. And I've seen 2 games in this tournament that I thought were spectacular. And Houston and Gonzaga, and Florida versus UConn. And it was literally like game 6, game 7 of an NBA series. Great coaching, great players. Sometimes players just miss shots. That's all I can say. I mean, these guys, all these 4 teams played their hearts out. I think Mark Few is actually the best coach in all all of basketball. Forget just college or pro. I mean, the guy's just a wonder. He had an undermanned squad. He got out rebounded by about $6 million, and they were down 1 point with a minute left. Florida, UConn ended their string of 13 consecutive division tournament wins. Hurley afterwards, Dan Hurley, I wonder if he wishes he would have took that Laker job. He didn't know Luka was going there, right? He cried. I would say that he said a lot of really interesting things in the last couple of weeks. He said on 60 Minutes that half his guys were already in the portal. And then he said something, he started crying. He's an emotional guy. I'm not going to hold that against him. But what he said is, half the year our guys hated each other. I'm like, whoa. They usually have coaches speak after a big loss like this. And he was very gracious, said Florida came and took it. They took the title. They took the crown. But I was like, wow, what's really going on the UConn campus? Something. Maybe money, maybe ego, who knows? It was kind of amazing. And they really didn't do a deep dive on it. Because at the end of the day, CBS is a partner with NCAA basketball. They don't want to rip it open too much, right? They want to act like they're journalists, but let's not make a mistake that they really are, okay? Ole Miss Cruises beat my Cinderella team, Iowa State. Beat them handily, actually. 7th SEC team to get to the Sweet 16. If you had that FanDuel prop, it said, how many wins will the SEC get? And I think it was 21.5. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I mean, I think they're already locked into a minimum of 19. Already. I mean, they're not there yet, but just the way the brackets play out, they're going to play each other. Somebody has to win, right? Maryland had the first buzzer beater of the tournament, 72-71 over Colorado State. I like Colorado State. I like Maryland. There's a lot of rumors the coach of Maryland is going to move on. Maybe Villanova. We're going to see. I don't know, but Maryland's playing some really good basketball. Texas, going to hire and he is truly a great coach, Sean Miller. He brought Xavier back. His second go-around, Xavier, he didn't really cut the mustard at Arizona. But I guess the AD at Texas, when he was hiring the current coach, did quite an extensive back study on Sean Miller and decided to go with the coach. I can't even think of his name right now, but they fired him because he didn't actually get into the tournament, right? Last 2 years, he didn't, quote-unquote, get into the tournament. That's not going to work there at Texas. Duke rolls. They just look good. I mean, they're just good. It is weird. It is weird just to see how tall and how athletic all those guys are. It's just amazing. All right. I want to talk about some hockey, but you know what? I'm going to leave that till Wednesday. Scott's the hockey expert. I kind of miss that. I'm going to talk about the PGA Tour. I gave you a winner. I had two guys. I had Sepp Straka, didn't make it. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Corey Connors, I picked him for a top 10 and a win. He got there. It's only plus 250, 275. So basically, you evened it out. But Corey Connors really, really played well. Victor Hovland, I didn't see that coming. He, by his own admission, has had 5 swing coaches in the last 2 years. And that just is weird. I remember when Tiger left Butch Harmon and he was looking for a coach and he went to Sean Foley, I believe it was. And the rumor was, we all knew it would take about 1.5 or 2 years for the subtle changes that Sean Foley wanted to make to his swing would actually, come to fruition. Well, how are you doing that when you have, basically a new swing coach every 5 months? Like, I'm not believing Victor Hovland's going to do anything at the Masters. There's no effing way. He just had a week where everything hit. Everything was good. It happens. These guys are that talented. And Justin Thomas, hard luck loser, finishes a stroke behind. I was kind of rooting for him, but it was nice to see those 2 big names on the board. I always love seeing that. Also, with NASCAR, Kyle Larson won. overtook Bowman with about 8 laps left, ran away with it. At Homestead, we're going to talk more about that with Brother Scott. If you could, though, hit that like and subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. Leave some comments. I actually responded to one the other day, and I really appreciate it. It was very complimentary. I appreciate all the hard work we're all doing. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to be bigger than Nick Wright. I don't really care about Colin Cowherd because literally that guy, he talks out both sides of his mouth plus his butt at the same time, which is quite a feat. Okay? But I will say this about him. That guy, man, he is always dropping videos. He is dropping videos literally 5 times a day. All right. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon on Off the Rails Sports Podcast.